been running for miles, just another day, waiting for the sun to shine in vain. Welcome to my world, yeah. This is my broken world. The silent whispers of the frozen air, it's dragging me deeper into despair. Someone set me free. Get me out of this tragedy. All the time, all around. It's not a light, so not a sound. I close my eyes, I'm crying out. A never-ending winter. This motherfucking frozen landscape I struggle to ignore. Sweat on my chest, I won't ever let go. Welcome to my world, yeah. This is my broken world.
Welcome, everyone, to the PLE Patrol. I am not muted, unlike Chris Best. I'm Chris Parrish, and we are getting ready for some Bash at Berlin. Bash in Berlin. Best! You can hear. What's good?
I could hear the whole time, but as soon as I hit that intro music, it just like frozen lagged on me, and it went really weird, which normally that doesn't happen to me for the intro.
Oh, I'm beating it up. Good start.
I am.
As we're getting ready, as we're seeing all the superstars arrive to the building, probably hours ago. For some people, it's mid-afternoon or early afternoon. Some people, it's still in the AM. We just want to say thank you for joining us as we are getting ready for Bash in Berlin. Opening up with a world title match. Cody Rhodes will defend against Kevin Owens in the opening matchup today.
Yeah, and right now we're looking at KO getting his gear on. Well, putting his tape on. That's still putting your gear on.
Not really. It's accessorizing. We see Cody getting ready, walking down the aisle towards Gorilla. As we see a little video package now. How's everyone doing? Let us know in the comments. Are you ready for some Bash in Berlin?
I know I am.
Also, just want to remind everyone that the PLE Patrol will be back tomorrow for NXT's No Mercy. So make sure that you check that out as well. And if people are wondering, the same platforms will apply, I believe, whereas you can watch that on the Turnbuckle Studios YouTube, Twitch, Chris Best is your YouTube, as well as my Twitch.
Yep. You actually just reminded me I should actually go into my YouTube at some point this weekend and make a playlist of all the PLE patrols that we've done. Because there's quite a few of them on my channel now.
I would maybe just selectively choose NXT.
That makes sense too.
Yeah. So I know we talked a little bit last night. I know I cut you off a little bit, but just want to, now that we're the day up, is there any match that you now are looking at as like, ooh, yeah, I really do want to see that? Maybe a little bit more so than when I asked this question yesterday during SmackDown Security Detail.
Well, now that you informed me what KO had whispered to Cody, I'm more intrigued in seeing this match, even though, and I know it's the first match, but I'm more intrigued now than I am over the strap match that I mentioned yesterday.
Yeah, and just to inform the people watching about that, in case you missed it, during the kickoff show, they play a lot of video packages to get you ready for the matches, and they had this scene of Kevin Owens walking past and whispering that unknown line to Cody Rhodes, but this time they had in the font that they put on the bottom of the screen, it said, remember, Cody, you asked for this. So open up to what you think that could happen. Is Kevin Owens going to turn, or is he going to bring stuff back from his past? In my eyes, we always saw the package pilot driver modified. I'm going to say we're going to see the package pile driver in its realist form for the first time in WWE today.
I think we're going to see a more violent Kevin Owens.
Well, yeah, and that's kind of what I'm implying with the pile driver.
Yeah, a hungry Kevin Owens, because, well, let's face it, anytime you get a title shot, you should be hungry for that title.
Keyword is should.
Mm-hmm.
As we open up with the prize fighter from Montreal, Quebec, Canada, we have Kevin Owens, who is in the news with his contract because, God forbid, we can't get more contract news as we say hello to our good friend, Bobby Stats Benito, coming in, joining us. Hi, Bobby. How are you doing? Thank you for joining us. Hope you're ready for some Bash in Berlin. Hope you're ready for some Cody versus KO to kick off your day of WWE.
Kevin Owens seeking his first world championship since 2017. I didn't realize it's been that long since he had the Universal title.
Well, he said on SmackDown it's been 8 years.
I know.
Yeah.
But it wasn't.
That was quite the tidbit of information there, Chris.
Oh, I know, but it wasn't sinking in yesterday because, like, you know me, I had a lot of brain fog and I was exhausted yesterday. So
there's brain farts, but I think you had brain diarrhea yesterday.
Yeah.
And right there in the middle of the ring, we are seeing that Prime logo. So the PLE canvas with the Prime is still there. Just Michael Cole and Wade Barrett. No Corey Graves at Bash in Berlin on the commentary team. I'm actually a little surprised by that.
I am too, but I'm actually fine with that because sometimes 3-man teams can be a little bit on the confusing side. I've been a part of 3-man commentary teams, and it can be confusing.
Hey, I've been on 1, 2, 3, and 4-man commentary teams. It's just a matter of finding the niche in my eyes. But yeah, I prefer 2. It's just a lot easier, a lot simpler, a lot more traditional, if you ask me. Bobby, you are doing good. That is great to hear. And hopefully you are going to be there with us tomorrow for the PLE Patrol No Mercy. And perhaps later tonight for Saturday Night Gaming on Chris Bass's channels, as well as the Chris Bears podcast tomorrow. As we got Rosita Maggie saying, hey, what's up? And if you hate me for saying that, sorry, I just had to. The stream is going well. Thank you. Thank you. How are you doing?
Again, that Doubletron setup that you mentioned yesterday just looks fantastic. I kind of want them to continue that for more of these international shows that they do.
Well, I mean, I think too, like when you have these shows, it all depends on what they're able to bring down. And you obviously want to make it feel a little bit different. It is a different feel, and I like it. The one thing I would say, like, if by chance you are to do it for TV, bring that top trend a little bit lower down so it doesn't feel as high up. But I do like it. It just the one thing I would add if you're doing it for more PLEs is add something in between so it just looks a little bit bigger.
Right. And to answer your question, Rosita, we stream on a near daily basis with Turnbuckle Studios. Actually, it is daily. We stream through Turnbuckle Studios.
Pretty much. I'm just I realize I got to get my my stream manager working. Kind of forgot that I put this on my Twitch as well.
Are there stream manager options for YouTube? I've never looked into that.
Oh yeah.
It's in the studio, right? In YouTube Studio?
Correct. That's exactly what.
Yeah.
And Rosita, you are a visual artist. Guess what? So am I. I'm visually artisting point of view of Bash at Berlin right now. I'm sure you are doing it differently, but I'm making a joke, and hopefully it's not as terrible as it probably sounded.
And my visuals are on KO sitting on the top rope.
I'm not gonna lie, it is not easy doing 2 stream managers at once. If you guys are watching and you enjoy what you're seeing, make sure that you hit that like, that subscribe button. If you're on YouTube, hit that thumbs up to give us a nice little appreciation. Letting us know we're doing a good job definitely helps the algorithm here on YouTube. Make sure that you're also hitting that notification bell just so anytime Turnbuckle Studios does go live, you are being notified, because knowledge is the first step into information or being informative. So see Cody Rhodes kiss that title before he hands it to referee Jessica Carr. Is he kissing that title goodbye? We are moments away from finding out as the opening matchup to Bash at Berlin is about to start.
Maybe I'm wrong on this one, but the first person I always think of when I hear when I see a wrestler kissing their title, I always think about Bret Hart, because Bret used to do that all the time, and I think he might have been the first wrestler to actually do that.
Definitely wasn't the first, but he definitely made it more noticeable because he did it all the time. So
yeah.
He owned it in. I think a lot of old school people did do that. I know a lot of people did.
I mean, in my indie days, whenever I was a champion, I incorporated that.
It always varied for me. If I was a heel, I would never do that. I would always kind of, like, you know, do you remember how like Razor would always badmouth the guy, making sure he's taking care of his chains every time he hands him the chains? I would do that to the official who's taking who has a title. I would always like, you make sure you grab this because this better look even better when you hand it back to me, kind of a thing. And then I would always banter with my opponent. If I was a baby face, I would be a little bit more emotional with it and things like that.
Bobby Stats is now coming in saying Zachary Wentz won the TNA X Division Championship last night on TNA Emergence. Does Wesley tell Zachary Wentz to put the belt on the line tomorrow on NXT? No mercy. Bobby Stats, we covered this last night on the SmackDown Security Detail. We kind of agreed that no, we don't see the X Division title on the line tomorrow night.
Yeah, and as Rosita's asking, I would love to help you guys with Twitch designs if you want. Unfortunately, Rosita, we are not looking for graphic designers at this time. But if we do, we'll definitely give you a shout out and we'll definitely hit you up. But thank you so much for the curiosity and the question and wanting to help. We appreciate that.
Is there no video wall around the ringside area, like on the barricade, or? You're muted, dude, for some reason.
It's because I was opening up a can. But no, I also noticed that there's no LED light on the apron on SmackDown last night either, and it doesn't look like there happens to be one today. So I wonder if maybe for the PLEs here they don't bring that necessarily.
Well, I was wondering that because I know they did that for Bash in Berlin or Clash at the Castle in Scotland and Backlash in Paris earlier this year.
Yeah, no.
It's kind of a nice old school look to it, though.
It could be done for a reason. We could be looking at it with a little bit too much and just saying, hey, maybe they're going to do something with the barricades in the show. Who knows?
Mm-hmm. Or it could just be a simple cost cutting measure for travel, you know?
It might not even be that. It just might be, hey, maybe we feel there's just too much distraction from the viewer. Because and they're not wrong by thinking that. I'd rather just keep my focus on the in-ring as we have a nice technical start to the match between Kevin Owens and Cody Rhodes.
Yeah, the old proverbial feeling out process between these two guys. Also, the ring looks a little extra bouncy tonight, too.
I wouldn't necessarily say it's bouncy. I think we're just seeing a lot more energy in this match right now.
Mm-hmm.
But it is for the WWE Universal Undisputed WWE Championship. So we better see that energy. Because it's not every day you get to fight in Berlin, Germany, in hopes to be a WWE champion. And Bobby, thank you for liking this video. We appreciate you.
I'm actually trying to remember the last time when they did or when they were in Germany 27 years ago, if Bret defended his WWF title.
Bret Hart wrestled Triple H. Triple H had a sit down in the kickoff show, and he actually talked about the last time they were there. He wrestled Bret Hart in front of 6,000 people.
Because the only thing I actually remember about that show was Bulldog winning the European title in that tournament. Because that match was, again, Bulldog and Owen, and that was a fantastic match.
Yeah.
Just as we're getting right now.
I think Cody Rhodes is a little hyped, wouldn't you say?
I would have to say so, yeah. I mean, he's really trying to get the crowd into this match right now.
We might say he received his order from RogueEnergy.com, and so can you. If you go to RogueEnergy.com right now, and if you want to save 10%, you're in luck because you can use my promo code PERISH, PERISH, to receive that 10% off.
And that's on anything you order, correct?
Yeah.
beginning to feel that Jessica Carr is Cody Rhodes' like go-to referee, because I feel like she's refed a lot of Cody matches this year.
I have a feeling they just tried to. I think this is safe because the one thing you're not probably going to get in a babyface versus babyface match is a ref bump, and I think that's kind of the safe place for it. So Jessica Carter makes a lot of sense there. When if the match doesn't call for any sort of violence towards the official, a female referee is probably the right suggestion at that point.
Yeah.
And we all know there's not a lot of cheating. There's not a lot of tomfoolery within the match. So you restrict your official from the perception of looking silly or stupid. And that allows somebody like Jessica Carr to be looked more as a positive light.
Yeah.
And she is a top official in WWE.
She's one of my favorite referees right now, so.
I do not dislike her. I do think she is amazing, but I mean, come on, Little Nate, all the way right now. Okay. Guy's still kicking, still going. Gotta appreciate that.
Yeah. No word of a lie, when I was making the intro, I totally forgot that when you're doing up because to do the intros, I have to make the matches, and I forgot that you can now pick the referee for the match. So I picked Little Nate for every match.
I'm going to pose the question to the audience. Who is your favorite official in the WWE? As Kevin Owens just hit Cody Rhodes with a shoulder tackle that took him off the apron into that barricade, followed by a frog splash onto the floor. KO is leaving it all out in his quest for his second world title.
Both men are leaving it all out right now. This is just, I mean, as OMD would say, would you expect any less from these two men? If it comes down to one of these two men performing some kind of nefarious tactic to try and win, which one is the first one to strike with that? Is it KO or is it Cody?
I mean, I think a lot of people would say KO. I think it depends on how the situation arises. Like, who is the one desperate at that time to do it? And I think that's kind of where it is. If the situation allows for Cody to do it, it might be Cody. If the situation allows for KO to do it, I think it's KO. It all depends. We have seen Cody Rhodes himself go a little too far. We've seen it with AJ Styles with the steel steps, right? Sometimes he can't control himself at times. And we all know the anger problems that KO have. So at the end of the day, who's the one who can keep their emotions in check the best and not let frustration sink in, as the announcers would say? Is Bobby coming in and saying he likes Charles Robertson, WWE, and Daniel Spencer in TNA?
Two fantastic choices for great referees. So I think it also could come down to, and I'm going to dive into a little bit of history here, but it could come down to a situation similar to WrestleMania 8, Roddy Piper and Bret Hart. If you remember correctly, Roddy was thinking about clocking Bret with the ring bell, but then stopped himself beforehand.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, that's what cost Roddy the Intercontinental title.
Saying that sometimes is there's a rhyme to a reason, but it all depends on what kind of champion, what kind of performer you want to be, and does your opponent change that perception of you? And if that's the case, that's a great indication that your opponent is getting in your head, because you're not you.
Well, all throughout that match, Brett was out wrestling Roddy Piper in every which way, and Piper was getting just frustrated at that,
Yeah. Hey, we're in Berlin, so why not a German suplex?
The one thing I'm enjoying right now about this match is there hasn't been too much of outside the ring activity. They're leaving it all in the ring, and that's awesome right now.
Well, yeah, and if it's going to the outside, it's for a reason. It's just because, we're taking advantage of a situation, but in the most traditional ways. But at the end of the day, it's for the championship, and we all know in order to win the championship, and if you want to be the fighting champion, in order to retain that championship, you have to do it inside the squared circle.
Yeah. Oh. Keep getting emails from Netflix for me to subscribe to them, and I do have to pull the trigger, because eventually we're going to be getting Raw over on Netflix, and I do want to see that Vince McMahon documentary that's coming.
Another near fall, but no luck for Kevin Owens as he hit a nice little top rep maneuver.
And he's getting that look on his face right now. He's got that look like, what do I need to do to beat this dude? And it could be a sign of desperation at some point for him.
I wouldn't say it's a sign of desperation, because desperation has not set in. To me, that is frustration.
Yeah.
But at the same time, Kevin Owens knows he hasn't hit him with everything yet. He hasn't hit the power bomb. He hasn't hit the stunner. He hasn't hit all of his stuff. But a crossroads for the count, 2, and it's not enough.
I actually thought that was going to be it. Even Cody now has that look on his face.
Mm-hmm. Well, now Kevin Owens is he hasn't hit everything on Cody Rhodes, but Cody Rhodes has now hit just amount of everything that he can do onto Kevin Owens. So I now have to reverse the question back to you. I'm going to swap down my Uno reverse here. Is Cody Rhodes getting desperate?
I'm kind of leaning towards that. I mean, we still haven't seen him hit his disaster kick, And I wonder if he's got to go for his triple crossroads. One of the moves we haven't seen KO do, and it's only because they haven't gone outside, we haven't seen him try the apron powerbomb yet.
That is true. Now, I asked because I don't remember if he did this during the pandemic. I'm assuming he did it at least once, but to my last thought, it was Jericho who took the last one that I can remember. Although I can assume that maybe the Roman Reigns probably took one as well.
Yeah. And there's that injured knee coming into play that Cody tried to fake out.
And there's that hesitation from KO for taking advantage.
That pretty much what I was saying about the Roddy Piper Bret Hart match earlier. And I think you're right, because I'm trying to remember, like, when KO turned on Kofi, but that was also before. Oh, he did.
Kevin Owens kicks him in the knee. To be fair, he did give Cody a chance.
Yeah.
Cody kept fighting.
And he's now hesitating on the apron powerbomb.
As we get back into the ring, a couple of reversals leads to Kevin Owens hitting a stunner. Not enough for the victory. Now, between that hesitation, between the frustration, one can only imagine what Kevin Owens is feeling at this moment. You asked earlier, what does he need to do to win this match? I think that question can be asked in a completely different light right now.
Yeah, because we're now seeing the frustrated side of KO. We still have yet to see KO hit that pop-up powerbomb. So, and you mentioned it's possible that he does the package pile driver at some point.
Now, just for anybody wondering, we are at 3 crossroads to 2 stunners. Now, out of a beautiful six-pack, how many beers are you rating this match so far? This is for the audience. Let us know in the comments.
Oh wow, that was a. I wasn't expecting that finish to happen like that.
With the fourth Crossroads, we have a victor. Cody Rhodes has defeated Kevin Owens and successfully has retained his Universal WWE Undisputed Championship. No tomfoolery, no cheating went on. In fact, too much hesitation perhaps cost Kevin Owens his opportunity to reclaim some heavyweight gold inside the WWE. But the big question is, as Cody Rhodes asked on SmackDown after the match, are they still going to be friends?
So yeah, it was basically again the Roddy Piper Bret Hart finish, but Kevin's hesitation didn't lead to the finish, unlike the Roddy Piper Bret match.
No, and well, I mean, technically it did because everything does lead to a finish. But to be on the kind of the side, hesitation restricted KO from his potential finishing of the match, but his hesitation opened the door for Cody Rhodes to reclaim his storybook chapter finish.
Yeah.
But we get back to the ringside as we see Kevin Owens and we see Cody Rhodes in the ring. Can I ask, are they going to remain friends?
Well, I would hope that KO does remain friends with Cody, because Cody's going to need some friends for his next feud. And there it is.
Yeah.
It's funny. I'm still waiting for a KO to like turn around and clothesline him, though. And we're not going to get that. No. But as I said, because of where Cody Rhodes is heading next, he's going to need some friends, because next up he's got Solo Sikoa.
Well, Solo thinks he's next, but maybe other people have other things to say. Last I checked, Solo Sikoa doesn't run SmackDown. Nick Aldis runs SmackDown.
Mm-hmm.
But as predicted from when I first saw or heard that this match was going to happen and everybody said KO is going to turn, I said, no, he's not. We're going to get a story out of this.
Hey, all week I said this was going to end in a respect angle with them hugging at the end of the match. So
I don't know if we're going to continue with this. I kind of do want this. I have a curiosity question. Could we see a triple threat match at Bad Blood with Cody Rhodes going up against Kevin Owens and Solo Sikoa?
See, I didn't even play that scenario in my head, but I kind of want to see that.
We're not rehashing a match that just took place, but we are creating a scenario that has never been seen, and that is a triple threat match for the championship, Cody's championship. And if Cody wins, I would say both those men are out of the picture for the time being.
And if memory serves me correct, Cody has yet to defend the title in a multi-man match.
Well, he's only had a handful of championship matches, so
Yeah. But Bobby Stats is coming in and saying Kevin Owens did great as an opponent for Cody Rhodes. And he's right on that.
still waiting though. Audience out of 6, because that is a traditional size for a 6-pack. How many beers do you rank that match as we are setting ourselves towards a tag team match for the tag team titles, the women tag team titles? The Alba Fyre and Isla Dawn, the Unholy Union, defend their championship against Bianca Belair and Jade Cargill.
And once again, just as I said on Tuesday, I'm glad that the women's tag team titles are being featured on a PLE.
Mm-hmm. I think it's the only women's title on this PLE. So it's not just that. It's the fact that it's the only women's championship on this PLE.
Being defended, because we are going to see Liv Morgan and her women's world title later on. But
yes, but the title is not.
Correct.
You basically just reworded what I said.
I did.
You OMD'd this.
I did.
Bobby's Stats is coming in with a scenario pitch. What if Kevin Owens and Randy Orton go up against the Team Bloodline at Bad Blood for the Tag Team Championships?
I mean, that's not a bad idea either. But I do feel like the Cody and KO stuff isn't quite finished yet.
I'd have to see what brings KO and Randy back together. If there's going to be a reason, or if it's just going to be as simple as, hey, we couldn't get gold on ourselves, or as individuals, why don't we run this back and get gold together?
I really like that pairing with Alba Fyre, Isla Dawn, and Blair Davenport there.
Blair Davenport. Yeah. Now, there is speculation that Blair Davenport is not in Berlin, as she was backstage for TNA Emergence. So if by chance we have a no Blair Davenport, do we see a no Naomi? Or is there something to be expected there?
Didn't we speculate on a possible Naomi heel turn coming? I think one of us did.
I've speculated on both Naomi and one of Jade or Bianca.
Mm-hmm.
This music would say a storm is coming as Jade Cargill first out, only to be joined, as presumed, by her tag team partner, Bianca Belair.
Okay, it's a change in hair color. I thought it was like the black light, I thought it was like a black light reacting against her hair for a second there.
They just had a backstage segment.
I wasn't really paying attention.
I could tell.
Clearly.
Hey, OMD, get off your phone and watch the show.
Fine.
He's not even here anymore.
I'm channeling my inner OMD.
That's not a good look for you. But if you are missing OMD, he will be back tomorrow for the PLE Patrol for NXT No Mercy. That is going to take place live at about, 8 p.m. Eastern Time?
I think so. I know you told me to get off my phone, but I got to double check here. Because when I was making the room for our show, I didn't even remember the time then.
See, people?
Yeah, 8 p.m. Eastern.
This is what now you know why I have alcoholic beverages during streams at times. Just saying.
Hey, just be glad I'm not drinking my special beverage, because I do have one in my fridge.
Since
I'd
you're
be even worse than OMD.
You're bringing your inner OMD here, and I'm thinking maybe you should have it. But Bobby's coming in saying he is rooting for Alba Fyre and Isla Dawn, and I am as well.
Me too. As I stated on Tuesday, I want to see more of them with the belt. I'm enjoying their reign right now. And I kind of want to see not so much of a breakup between Bianca and Jade, but the start to the breakup in this match.
I don't need it to start now because I do want that to be my WrestleMania match for them. Mm-hmm. I think you do it now. It's way too early. And how do you sustain that all the way to WrestleMania? I don't think you can, especially with the limited options going there. I do think you can start teasing it now. I think there is something that you can do to help kind of bring that in. Very similar to what we see with Grayson Waller and Austin Theory. It's just see those seeds being planted for it to occur. And I think by War Games, we could actually see maybe the full-fledged. That way, we go into December with, there's going to be some time off around the Christmas time. You get into the Rumble, we can see something take place there. There, you're going into Elimination Chamber, which you can work away. Then you have your lead into WrestleMania.
I kind of like it's kind of like into the scenario I painted out too, where you do break them up at the War Games. You have a situation, maybe in the Royal Rumble match, maybe it's like Bianca is dominating, then Jade shows up and throws her out. But then at the Elimination Chamber, Bianca eliminates Jade. And there you go. There's that simple build right there between the two of them.
However, I am gonna say this. I do like the fact that Jade is in a tag team as well as Bianca, because right now it takes Bianca away from the championship spotlight, which I felt she was always put in. It's a nice change of scenery, and it allows Jade to slowly, organically go a little bit more at her speed, which I think is the right move for her. And I think Bianca is the perfect person for Jade to get that added confidence that she needs as a performer.
Yeah. Now, have you yourself seen any improvements as far as Jade's in-ring goes?
Oh, 100%. And I think
Yeah.
what you're seeing is Jade not rush. I think she is more knowledge on what to do when maybe she's lost. I think she's a lot more comfortable. She's a lot more confident in what she's able to do. She's trusting her instincts a little bit more in the ring, and she's understanding just how to work at the speed where it works for her, with making herself look strong, look the way she needs to look. And I think that's just something that's very good to see. She's putting pieces together, and we're in that set of, she might not have the whole puzzle figured out quite yet, but we're starting to see what the puzzle's looking like.
Yeah. It's definitely similar in vein to what we talked about last night about how your confidence in the ring can greatly affect how you perform in the ring. And that confidence in Jade is certainly showing.
Come on, ref. You got to get outside.
Oh man.
Or Alba Fyre. You
Sam.
Now, if a storm is coming, well, you just got a burning flame coming right at you in Alba Fyre. And now, the one thing I will say is I do want to see a little bit more selling from Jade. Not so much where she has to oversell it, but just recognizing the fact that she just got bamboozled by Alba Fyre just there, and just recognition of what just happened. That's all.
Yeah, I wish he was down just a little bit longer from that, you know?
Not so much that, but get up, understand like what just happened. Like,
yeah, do a simple like grab at your neck or something, you know?
Just body language at that point. Little nitpicky things as a performer, but something that I've been very much criticized on Bianca in the past about, but she is definitely, as you see right now, like she's doing that. She's just making it, the flailing the arms not so much. I don't like when she does that, but no, all in all, so far this has been a great match. And we're just at the second, maybe nearing. I think we're probably nearing close to the second quarter of this match, or we're in that second quarter.
Yeah, we're definitely in that spot in the tag match where you're building to the hot tag right now.
Oh, of course, yeah. But what I love is just the continuity and the being on the same page here from Alba Fyre and Isla Dawn. They definitely are just on the same cylinder right now. They're firing at the right time. You can tell that they're very, very much on the same page. And I love the fact that we're seeing a tag team representing the tag team division as champions, and they're acting the part because they are the part. And I think that's a very good thing to have. And this is why I think it's very important to perhaps keep the titles on these two, or at the very least build your division around these two, because until you get somebody that's better, You got to roll with the punch that's always knocking people down.
That's what I'm also liking out of Jade Cargill and Bianca. They're starting to feel more and more like a legitimate tag team, and it's right down to the minute details. Even like their ring gear, it's starting to feel more and more like a legitimate tag team, and I'm liking that. You know.
Yeah. And I'm loving the creativity on just using the hair against Bianca Belair. I've been waiting for a while to see more people using the hair. Kind of get. Yes, they're going to give me what I'm hoping for. Oh, no, maybe not.
Oh, that was an interesting way to break up the hot tag.
That's a nice little false. I like it. Get in the help. Take advantage.
And they're doing the kind of tag team wrestling I used to do, cutting off the corner.
Now, yeah, I thought they were a little bit too open with that false tag.
Yeah.
But what I do love is that they are making you want the tag.
And they're getting the crowd into it. I mean, look at them go right now. They're waiting for Jade to get that tag.
Yeah. Oh, please tell me that Alba Fyre is going to bring Jade down before the tag is there.
Nope.
Ah.
And again, I do see that confidence in Jade that you were talking about earlier. I think she just needs to pick up the pace just a little bit more on these hot tags, though.
I think she's okay. But also, if you kind of look into it, she is going to her opponents, which the pace is usually done by the heel, helping out the pace as well. So, like, to kind of go behind the fourth wall there, you're not seeing a lot of help around this either. I think Jade is taking too much energy out of her sail right now. And I don't think that's really on her.
Right.
And she hasn't missed a spot. She hasn't missed a beat. She is hitting the mark on everything.
She had good timing on that breakup, by the way.
Yep. I like that move that they get. Did a gory bomb into kind of a flatliner there.
Yeah, that was a little bit on the innovative side, which was nice to see, actually.
Alba Fyre holding up her own now with both members of Cargill and Bianca there. It's Europeans and those hard heads, man.
I was just gonna say, it seems like everybody sells the headbutt as if it's like death now.
Oh, endure, right? Anybody can.
Mm-hmm.
Ooh. Jade coming in, pulling Bianca out of the way as Isla Dawn and Alba Fyre have a little mishap.
Okay, that was actually pretty cool. Wow.
And there we have it. We have new women tag team champions. Isla Dawn and Alba Fyre have been defeated by Jade Cargill and Bianca Belair.
I don't know what to make of this, but
sign me up for a rematch. That match was nothing short of fantastic. These four girls have chemistry.
Yeah, I do want to see more of this. But how fitting is it that Jade and Bianca lost the women's tag titles in Europe to Alba Fyre Isla Dawn, only to win it back in Europe from Alba Fyre Isla Dawn?
What I think is great is that we have a women's tag team match that actually set the bar for the next match. Usually the second match on the card is a horrible spot to be in, but the teams of Alba Fyre and Isla Dawn and Bianca Belair and Jade Cargill really rewrote the history books, and they decided, you know what? We're just going to give you a banger of a match on that second spot. So third match, you're up. And that is a match. You have to bring it to follow, which I'm only assuming is, are we now looking at strap match time?
Yeah, because I don't think you go, well, they've done it before, but I really don't think you should go 2 tag team matches in a row.
I mean, they are different types of tag matches.
True.
Yeah, it is scheduled for the third match to be the strap match. I am getting a little bit of information. As we get a little viewpoint of Berlin, Germany, we are nearing the evening.
That almost looked similar to the skyline shot I have for our background, except, of course, different times of the day.
And a different day when it was taken.
Yeah. Because, well, the video I found was made like a couple years ago, so.
We're showing CM Punk getting ready in his locker room, only to indicate that the strap match is next, as the graphics also come in.
Match sponsored by Killer's Game, which I assume is a movie.
Or a game. Bobby coming in saying it was a nice match. That it was. No Killers match, I do believe, is the movie. If I'm not mistaken, is that not the movie Drew McIntyre's in?
I think so. I'm trying to remember the movie that I saw Batista promoting on Chris Van Vliet the other day, though. If that was a Batista movie,
That
or not.
is. That is the movie. The Killer's Game is the movie with Batista and the debuting Drew McIntyre. Now, as we let everybody know that we have the PLE Patrol coming back tomorrow at 8 p.m. Eastern Time for NXT No Mercy. We also have Saturday Night Gaming coming later tonight. We have the Chris Parrish podcast tomorrow. But what else do we have in store for everyone? Well, here's a little calendar to let you know. So if you want to be part of the Turnbuckle affiliation program, well, don't worry. Just make sure you go to affiliationprogram.my.canva.site where you can get your start on becoming the next partner of Turnbuckle Studios via the Turnbuckle affiliation program.
There we go. I think the music's done now. I think a clean of my computer should be done before tonight's Saturday Night Gaming.
Perhaps.
Should have been done last night, actually.
We are getting the video package of CM Punk and Drew McIntyre for this strap match.
Okay, they did set it up the way I thought they were going to.
Yeah.
I now understand why the ring posts are the way they are tonight.
As the strap match rules come in, each competitor will be tied to each end of a strap. No pinfalls or submissions, and the only way to win is by touching all four corners of the ring uninterrupted in succession, which means you have to touch all four corners in a row. If you hit one or two or three and your opponent hits one, it nullifies your ability to win that match at that point, but it begins theirs. So you want to make sure you're doing it very strategic. That's the Scottish psychopath or the Scottish warrior, whatever you'd like to call him. I like to call him Drew McIntyre. He is the first competitor out.
I'm really digging his entrance gear.
Mm-hmm. Wondering if by chance it has any sort of meaning behind the movie he's doing. Probably not, but just curious.
This is Drew's second career strap match. He's 0-2 in the last 2 PLE matches in Europe.
Man, we all know what his last 2 PLEs in Europe were. It's Bobby's stats coming in saying CM Punk wins in this match against Drew McIntyre. That is what Bobby's stats is predicting, and I think you're going to get no arguments from this panel, as I believe we both assume or presume that CM Punk is going to come out victorious as well.
Yeah, because I do believe that Punk wins this match, and we get and because this feud would be tied at 1 match apiece, we do get a 3rd match at Bad Blood.
Now they say Drew McIntyre is 0-1 in strap matches. CM Punk, however, is 2-0. In fact, his last strap match was against the late Umaga, who happened to have his last match as well.
I was going to ask, because the last, I guess you could say, strap match variant that I've seen CM Punk do was the dog collar match in AEW. Would you consider that a strap match variant or no?
No, it's a dog collar match.
Yeah.
How do you win a dog collar match?
I think that match ended by pinfall, if I'm not mistaken.
Strap matches don't end by pinfall. So, no, I don't consider it a strap match. Michael Cole alluding to the last time CM Punk won a strap match. He also cashed in his Money in the Bank briefcase and defeated Jeff Hardy, become the World Heavyweight Champion. Drew McIntyre is not waiting. He is a very impatient Scottish man as he has taken a beating to CM Punk before the bell rings.
This seems to be the typical beginning start to strap matches where you see the heel attack the babyface prior to the strap getting put on. And in this case, because of the emotional involvement between these two, it makes sense.
Definitely warrants Drew McIntyre's aggression, and there we have it. For the first time, we have seen Drew McIntyre strap CM Punk. However, it's done before the bell rings. He now then puts his wrist on. So we're halfway to being underway. And there you go. Both men's wrists are strapped.
Yeah,
One willingly, the other unwillingly. Match is now officially underway. Now I got to ask you two questions. Wins and losses matter.
No, not to me. To me, a win or a loss doesn't really hurt. It's how the crowd reacts to who you are.
But so you don't think a win and loss matters? You don't think winning a match matters? So you're in a title match and you lose the match, it doesn't matter?
Well, yeah, well, title matches matter, but
no, the point I was trying to make is that was the first question. Do wins and losses matter? We can all have our different opinions on how we answer that question. Yes, they matter to an extent. The point is, do we still view CM Punk as a top star in WWE? I think the answer is obviously yes. CM Punk has not won since returning to WWE, yet he is still viewed as that top star. That is an indication of why sometimes win losses aren't always definitive in the perception of one person.
So Drew's already touched one turnbuckle.
Mm-hmm. And now he can go to sleep. I would do one, and then I would just start beating on him. That way I would negate Drew's chances of winning.
Yeah.
That is not what CM Punk decided to do. He simply went for the beating.
Okay, so there is a length of time where eventually it does become nullified.
Is it a minute?
I didn't even count, but
Seems like Punk is taking too much time, and there it is.
yeah.
As he's looking for underneath the ring, he gets clobbered in the back.
I mean, I love that we're seeing signs of aggression out of both these men in this match right now, and kind of need that with the feud that these men have been having.
Yeah, this match is definitely not about your wrestling holds, not exactly needed for a side headlock or a cross-body block, but what we are getting is simple violence, weapons, brutality. And
This would be this is going to be that kind of match that's going to be right up Carl's alley, because Carl has stated in times past that he enjoys a good hardcore match.
you see Drew McIntyre putting the table back underneath the ring, not giving the fans what they want, not giving CM Punk what they want. But perhaps a steel chair is more to the liking of the straight edge superstar. CM Punk is bloodied over the left eye right there. And,
Yeah, I was trying to see if he was, but you just confirmed that for me.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, now it's coming into play right now.
Now the blood is on Drew McIntyre's hands.
And has now become a main target for Drew. The one thing I always look for when I see blood in a match now is I look for the referee putting the gloves on, and there he is doing that now.
Mm-hmm. And right now, we have not seen many attempts to win the match. What we are seeing are just many attempts to inflict pain on your opponent.
And that's what we need right now. Like, again, we talked about that aggression, that emotion in this match. All these men want to do is just beat the living snot out of one another right now.
As the fight for the table occurs. There we go.
I was going to say Punk's having a fight with underneath the ring to get the table out.
One could say Drew McIntyre, when he put it back in there, made it more difficult for Punk.
Yeah.
We'll go with that. Just
or he could be having a tug of war with Hornswoggle underneath there.
No, he is. He doesn't work there no more. Could be somebody else. A little bit of baiting went on as Drew McIntyre baits CM Punk to get back in the ring, only to hit him right in that bloody cut, the Claymore kick. As Drew McIntyre's hit one turnbuckle. Now two. We have
the third one. Okay, that was a smart move.
Yep. Now, if you're CM Punk, you got to negate this. As he does.
Punk is, he's finally touched his first turnbuckle.
So this match is brought to you by the cousin of Turnbuckle Talk, Turnbuckle Touch. Punk is one turnbuckle away from victorious, but will be negated with Drew McIntyre. Might even be 30 seconds.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's 30 seconds because that seemed to, as we see Punk go through the table there.
Safe to say that if you set something up, you're going through it. As Drew McIntyre sets the chair up, he goes through the chair. CM Punk sets up the table, he goes through the table. So if you don't want to go through any weapons, I suggest not setting them up. Thank you.
So one of the things I'm enjoying about this match right now, and I'm pretty sure we're probably still going to see these spots, but we're not seeing some of the typical strap match spots, i.e. hanging your opponent from the ropes, or what's the other one that I usually see in these matches? I was going to say the tug of war, but we're getting a little bit of that right now.
I mean, you're going to get it. I mean, that opens up for the tug of war.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's okay if we get the spots, but do you have a creative way of
getting to that, right?
Yeah.
Oh, and this was the other one I was thinking of where they both touched the turnbuckles.
Which is what they're doing.
Yeah. It has to be the top turnbuckle, right?
I believe so. And there it is.
Yeah, that's about 30 seconds.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, you didn't have to confirm it. It was pretty...
Yeah, I didn't even count, but I kind of realized it was 30 seconds.
As a man, I know what a minute feels like.
Oh, Punk came loose from the strap there.
Now, Punk, I just want to let people know he has not broke any rules. Labor Day is Monday. He's wearing white before Labor Day, so a very strategic play to wear white, Mr. CM Punk.
Yeah.
However, in a strap match where you know blood is going to be, well, that's a secondary opinion. As we are getting a sharpshooter be put on.
A nicely executed sharpshooter, I might add.
Yeah. Sure. We'll go there.
Well, better than what most other wrestlers can do. I might be drawing comparisons to The Rock's sharpshooter, which sucks.
Well, then just do that. You're putting a lot of wrestlers right there. You're just like throwing a lot of people under the bus with that one. Because I can say Tyson Kidd and Cesaro, boom, better sharpshooters. There we go.
Mm-hmm.
Good one.
Agree.
Owen Hart, better sharpshooter.
Agree, actually. I did like Owen sharpshooter better than Brett.
I didn't. Actually, I didn't. I think Brad did it perfect. I just thought Owen did it different.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, didn't Owen use the other leg to lock in the sharpshooter? Yeah.
Oh, is this going to be a swinging into a Claymore? Nope. Neck breaker.
Reverse neck breaker.
Reverse neck breaker? That would be a cutter.
It would be.
We could see that later with the RKO. Oh, I'm totally going to call the RKO reverse cutter now.
Yeah.
Just for you.
And Drew has Punk's bracelet.
Under his gear. Gross.
It's all sweaty and disgusting now.
I was going to say his hair was puffy one night. Now it's slicked back. That's sweat. He did not recondition in this matchup.
And that's the second go to sleep that that Punk has hit on Drew.
Followed by the second Claymore hit on CM Punk.
That's true too.
Is that true too, or is it 2-2?
Or is it Drew too?
You fill in the blanks. Ah, oh, this time CM Punk does not go for the bracelet. You saw that opportunity and he decided not to go to the bait.
Drew trying to cut off Punk there.
Mm-hmm. And CM Punk is just being relentless right now.
As he should be right now with the with this feud.
Oh, taking too much time. His lights are going to fade.
Oh, I thought, for a brief moment there, I thought Drew reversed it. And we got the finish. A kind of definitive finish on this one.
Yeah, and a little finish. I'm not. You know what? You had the time nullifier, and then it just kind of went away there. Just saying, I'm being a stickler right now.
Yeah,
That was
he did go a little bit too long with that last one.
maybe I would have just done. You hit him with the desperation. You hit the first one. You hit the go to sleep. You hit the second one. You then go and get the third one, or maybe after that, after the second one, you grab your bracelet. Boom. You hit third one. That's when Drew comes running at you. Hit another go to sleep. Hit the fourth. That's how I would have ended it.
Yeah.
I thought for a second he might have like canned Drew on that. Just fell, and I'm like, where did that shoulder really hit him? How much would that suck just based on where he had that bracelet if he slapped the turnbuckle and the bracelet just exploded and he broke it? Not gonna lie, how that would suck.
Yeah.
As Bobby is rolling around laughing. He'd be like, yes! No!
Well, Punk gets his first victory since returning to the WWE. His first on-screen victory, I should say.
And as he celebrates with Oban Elliott, a UFC welterweight fighter. But more importantly, he brings that record to 3-0 in strap matches. And Drew McIntyre is now 0-2 in strap matches.
So is it safe to say, with Punk being 3-0 in strap matches, that the strap match could be CM Punk's signature match?
Yeah, I don't know. He did pretty well in the Money in the Bank.
He did too. First one to win back to back.
Mm-hmm. As we get a little preview to the Killers game, only in theaters September 13th, featuring Dave. Don't call me Blue Batista. And the on-screen debut of Drew McIntyre.
Which, based off that trailer, if you're into action films, that movie's for you.
As then we go to another PLE Patrol on October 5th. Bad Blood coming in from the State Farm Arena.
That just made me happy knowing that the PLE is on October 5th, because here in Canada, October is a GST month, and usually that comes on the 5th every 3 months.
See,
But because the PLE,
because I have to miss it.
where are you going to be?
I'll be here. I'll be home. But that will be signifying the first birthday of my son. So.
That makes sense. That makes total sense. I understand that.
Yeah.
But it makes me happy because I'm a budget planner when it comes to my money. So knowing that I'm getting money earlier, because the money would be my tax money would be arriving on the 4th as opposed to the 5th.
Yeah.
That makes me happy.
Also, what number did I tell you I was expected to be around this PLE on Instagram followers?
I can't remember what you said last night now.
I did say 900, didn't I?
Oh yeah, you did, because I thought of that Dragon Ball Z meme when you said
Yeah.
that.
Well, the next person to follow me on Instagram will be my 900th follower. Yeah, Sebastian Hackle celebrating the success that is Bash at Berlin. That in that sit-down interview, Triple H was talking about he is expecting this to be the highest grossing arena show in WWE history, eclipsing
And
the mark from Lyon, France.
it is.
Yeah. No, Triple H actually did say that. He said it was
Oh,
going to
okay.
be. Yeah. And if you want to get more interactive with the WWE, make sure you're checking out the Bash in Berlin post-show immediately following the premium live event. And you can check that out on YouTube and on WWE.com. And if you're Canadian, for the short amount of time left, the WWE Network, if you happen to be subscribed.
It looks like we got mixed tag team action next.
That is what we do have. As we have 2 matches left, we know that the main event will be the hometown General Gunther defending that title against Randy Orton. So we definitely have the PR's favorite team in Priest and Ripley going up against Eminem, Morgan, and Mysterio. That's right. I just came up with 2 names.
Hey, PR sounds way better than Terror Twins, in my opinion.
I like Terror Twins. It's different.
I don't know. To me, it sounds like a Goosebumps book.
Yeah, what's wrong with Goosebumps?
Nothing, actually.
Bray Wyatt grew up loving Goosebumps. How dare you? That's right. It said so in his documentary. This ref cam just looks like a really awkward VR experiment.
Yeah. I
mean,
noticed
it was funny when
actually.
Seth Rollins did it.
Yeah.
Yes, as you were saying.
I was going to say the only time I noticed it on the show at SummerSlam was in that first match, and it feels like they abandoned it halfway through that match. Because I don't remember Seth having it on when he ref later on that night.
I think with Seth, they obviously in the match they wanted the match to be the focal point, but no, they did have it be a thing like after online where you're seeing the ref, like
okay,
the Seth footage, because they didn't. I mean, obviously that would have taken away from the match itself,
right?
I am liking that new Judgment Day logo. But it definitely screams like Sons of Anarchy meets Taker vibes. getting the video package now, getting ready into this match with a little bit of heavy breathing from Chris Bass. But how excited are you getting into this mixed tag match?
The heavy breathing was from watching some Liv Morgan on my screen.
Okay, now you're bringing out your inner Carl.
I am. I'm actually very excited about this match, but I've been thinking about this question pretty much since last night. But out of this current incarnation of the Judgment Day, who do you think is the most expendable?
Carlito.
That's where I went as well.
Well, you got to look on association, right? We got association with Liv and Dom. We got association with JD and Finn as tag team champions. So right now, the one that doesn't belong is the one who doesn't have a direct association with anybody specifically. So yeah, to me, it is Carlito.
So I've got to wonder if this current incarnation, obviously, if this current incarnation of the Judgment Day does split, Carlito is probably going to be the first one that gets the boot.
Yeah, it'd be very intriguing to see what is in store for this incarnation of the Judgment Day. But yeah,
I don't see anything happening anytime soon between these people, though.
Well, I mean, at first, and I think this is kind of where I looked at for the original incarnation of the Judgment Day after the Edge kickout. Sorry, post Edge is that after your original target, and that was Edge and Ray and all that, where do they go? And that's where I'm kind of looking at this version of the Judgment Day. After you battle Rhea and Damian, where does the Judgment Day go? What's their next target? I mean, it's easy to go to another faction per se, but what really truly makes sense?
Right. Not gonna lie, every time I hear Rhea Ripley's theme song, I get it stuck in my head for like the rest of the day, and that's really not a bad thing because I love that song.
I was gonna say, did Damian Priest sound like he had a new theme?
I think so, but for a second there, I thought he was going back to his old one.
I liked his very first theme, to be honest.
Me too. Because I thought, like, when I saw the flames on the Titantron, I thought we were going back to when Damian used to come out and then he would turn around and do the arrow.
He did always have the flames. Sometimes in the Judgment Day, he had purple flames.
Right.
But he always had flames. But I am hoping Rhea moves away from the purple in her graphics.
Yeah, that's one thing I was hoping to see as well, is that we do see a change in Rhea's colors.
Unless the Judgment Day themselves move away from purple.
Which right now we're seeing in Dom. He's got the black and white, as does Liv right now.
Yeah.
But to be honest, if I'm looking at Dom and the black and white, he's kind of giving me La Parka vibes with that top.
Yeah. I just don't know where they necessarily go from here.
I do think we still go to Damian and Finn.
No, I know, but I mean, like,
we're doing this.
I mean, after Judgment Day and Liv and Rhea and
Oh
Damian.
yeah.
Like, I'm trying to put my head around kind of what's next for these people. I think Damian versus Finn is obvious.
Yeah.
And that's why I think Finn costs Damian this match so we can go to that Add Bad Blood.
Mm-hmm. Now, I think with Damian, after he's done with the Judgment Day, I do believe Damian maybe turns his attention back to the World Heavyweight title.
Could. But at that point, now we're going into War Games. We're going into the end of the year, so
maybe he could turn his attention on to winning the Royal Rumble to get a title shot.
Yeah, I don't know. We'll see kind of where it goes. And I think that's always the number one rule is we got to always just see where things go. But I'm just finding a harder spot. Like, what I do with Dominik Mysterio after all this. What's my direction for him? What's my direction for Liv Morgan once she does lose the women's championship, which is something that will eventually happen. Maybe not to Rhea, but maybe to Rhea. But and then if Rhea does become champion, who's next for her? If she doesn't win the title, what's next for her? And then, where does Damian Priest go? Does he maybe go to the Intercontinental Championship? We've talking about people going up against Braun Breaker. What about Braun Breaker versus Damian Priest for the Intercontinental title?
I like that match too. But I also like an OMD pointed this out about where we could go with Dom after this is you could even put Dom in the Intercontinental title picture as well.
You can, but if Braun Breaker is my champion, Dominik is not my second pick there.
Right.
You're doing heel, and that's just not something you're going to see right away.
True.
I wonder if after this we honestly go back to a Rey versus Dom.
I think we are going to get that again at WrestleMania, maybe. Because there's been hints at them fighting again on a PLE. And we've seen them go up against one another, but not in one-on-one situations. They've been mostly in tag team situations.
Seeing a little aggression out of Dom. It's a nice little touch.
Mm-hmm.
Gotta point out that T-shirt that he has sporting the picture of him and Liv kissing. Now, I know this is the Bash in Berlin PLE, but TNA did announce its main event for Victory Road, and it is Moose going up against Nick Nemeth for the TNA World Championship.
I think I like that. I really want to know, because I went back and watched the ending to the Nick Nemeth and Josh Alexander match last night. I kind of want to know what JBL had to say to Nick Nemeth when he came to the ring and whispered to him.
Well, that's why we watched the next show. But we know from just shows prior, especially in GCW, we've seen JBL come out, especially with Nick Nemeth. So this could just be maybe a partnership, perhaps.
I'd like to think so, but it felt so weird, by the way, seeing JBL in a different company.
Mm-hmm.
It felt really weird to me because, like, he's been a straight up WWE guy, but as right now we're seeing Rhea Ripley just take it to Liv Morgan right now.
Yeah. You know, she might not be in a relationship, but she definitely is showing some dominance right now.
And speaking of Dom, he's getting up and he's still in the ring, but he obviously doesn't know that Rhea's in there now. I do think we see Dom take a riptide. Kind of swatted her like a fly.
And the place has come unglued.
Oh, yeah. Excuse me.
I don't even have my volume on, but you can just see it with the reaction.
Oh, we got a tease to the riptide.
I just want to know why Damian Priest is just chilling outside. I mean, Dom was getting beat up, and I get it, but it just seemed a little awkward.
Yeah, if I'm if I'm Damian, I'd want to get in there and get a piece of Dom as well, you know?
Well, he did. He definitely did. But
Oh yeah.
I just meant like it was a little like awkward just seeing him chill outside while Rhea's getting beat up by Liv. But then again, like Dom just got beat up by Rhea, so I guess.
Yeah.
Dom is just adding to that bump card tonight.
Oh, yeah. Dom is actually pretty good at bumping.
Oh yeah,
I won't deny that.
You gotta be when you're not exactly a technician like a Chad Gable can be.
Yeah. Now Rhea's Razor's Edge looked like it had a little bit more authority than Damian's did.
Well, I'm sure you can throw Liv probably a little bit more further.
Yeah.
Maybe Dom had too many chicken tendies before this match.
Speaking of that, that's going to be my dinner today. I'm having chicken tenders and French fries for supper.
Oh, and there's JD and there's Carlito.
Yeah, it was only a matter of time before they showed up.
Yeah, and the one person we still have not seen is Finn Balor. Oh,
Man.
And there he is.
With the sling blade. Every time he does that, man, it's so beautifully executed. I get the feeling that if we are building to Damian and Finn, that's clear. But I get a feeling that it's either going to be inside the cage or a cell to prevent Judgment Day from interfering. Or do we build to that mixed War Games match that you had talked about?
I think a cell match makes a lot of sense for Punk and McIntyre, but so this is what I kind of like to see JD do once in a while. Use his face as a bait instead of even though it's always nice to see him bump, but
Finn with a little bit of overselling there.
oh, I think this is gonna. There we go. I had a feeling.
That was a beautiful inside out from Dom.
Yeah, especially on a table. I just don't know if I like the fact that Rhea and Damian are 2 against 5.
I was gonna say because we know the Judgment Day have also had their issues with the LWO. I'm like, what I was gonna say, ask what are the chances that LWO come out to help them out? Clearly, that won't be the case.
No. And this is kind of what worries me about the Judgment Day moving forward without having solidified muscle in the group now, as you really did shed your muscle from both divisions.
Mm-hmm.
They are going to be punching bags for a lot of people. And moving forward, like, is there really anything you want to see now? This felt like a definitive win for both Damian Priest and Rhea Ripley.
Well, I mean, I still want to see Damian and Finn, but I don't know about Rhea and Liv now.
Well, I mean, she beat the champion, so yeah, like you go to that championship match, which you have to think it's the end it all. But I don't know, like if Finn was the reason why Damian took the fall here, that's what I would want to see next. But Finn's interference did absolutely nothing.
That's true too.
So it could have been definitive, or what happens if Finn Balor was the one who put Priest through the table? And that allowed Liv to get the win on Rhea or something. Like,
yeah, because see, when Dom did that suicide dive onto Damian, I thought we were going to get the spot that Dom was trying to do on Monday.
Yeah.
Before Ray showed up.
For me, it's just like, I just don't know why I'd want to see this again on Monday when you just had 2 beat 5.
Mm-hmm.
So why would they need help now?
Yeah, so now my thoughts on the LWO coming in to help out doesn't make much sense now.
No, and neither does like anybody else helping them out. Like, why do they need help? They clearly got this. And that is something that I'm not a fan of. I honestly might go as far as saying I might not be any longer invested in this angle. To me, I had closure.
They'd have to do something on Monday to reel us back in with this thing. Something big. I don't know what you do, but
now at Bad Blood, I can understand them go Rhea, Liv, women's title, Priest, Damian, boom. Okay, you go into War Games, you do Judgment Day versus whatever, Team Finn versus Team Damian. If Team Balor loses, Judgment Day is no longer. Maybe, just maybe I can be convinced on that. But right now, I'm very, very intrigued to that decision and why that was the best decision. Now, I know I said earlier, gotta let things play out. That I will. However, I'm just saying, I felt as a viewer, I got closure from Rhea and Damian's fight against the Judgment Day. As they're showing us, we have Google Earth and the distance between No Mercy, that is in Denver, Colorado, and Berlin, Germany, where we're seeing SmackDown and Bash in Berlin. is quite the distance.
Yeah, we're looking at some of the matches we can expect on Monday. Like right now, Sheamus, Bronson Reed, and Ludwig Kaiser, number one contender in the number one contenders tournament for the Intercontinental Championship. I really think I got Bronson to win this one.
Yeah, and then we also have Dominik Mysterio versus Dragon Lee versus Ilya Dragunov.
I would like to see Dom take that one.
Yeah, and then the winners of those matches will face Pete Dunne and Jey Uso in the Fatal 4-Way final of the number one contender Intercontinental Championship tournament.
In 2 weeks. That would make it the Calgary episode of Raw, right?
Yes.
Yeah. But I gotta wonder, like, because I went with Bronson Reed and Dom, would that be too many heels in a Fatal 4-Way or no?
You have Jey Uso there. I mean, right now you're just giving me, like, I honestly want Ilya and Kaiser, to be quite honest, and then it's a little different. I mean,
yeah.
And then we could have Gunther take away the opportunity from Ilya. That could set them up. And then we have Jey winning it, which I believe Jey Uso is going to go on to face Braun Breaker for the Intercontinental title. With how they're building Bronson Reed, why is the tournament the way he gets his opportunity?
That's what I'm trying to wrestle around with in my brain is the amount of guys he's been taking down. Somebody's bound to show up and get some revenge on him.
Yeah. Also, let the babyface earn through all this tournament stuff. Let the heel just take the opportunity he didn't earn to begin with.
Right.
This is why I just keep the story simple. Also, I know we're both hockey fans. Just want to let you know the Carolina Hurricanes signed Seth Jarvis to an 8-year, $7.9 million AAV extension, and the Utah Hockey Club has signed Robert Bortuzzo to a 1-year deal worth $775,000.
I kind of expected the Jarvis move to happen.
Yeah. I'm very curious to see what the Hurricanes cap is now like, as we're getting ready for the man who made the reverse neck breaker famous against the Ring General World Heavyweight Champion Gunther.
I find it interesting too. I think it was the night before we were talking NFL and we were talking about Ayuk holding out on his deal, only to find out that he signed the next day.
Yeah. Well, I mean, we're talking about that, and I follow very, very closely to the stuff. Obviously, I'm a big football guy, but no, there were those windows, and if you don't see the trade kind of during training camp or during the free agency, and you're getting this close to the season, I highly doubt he was being moved. Plus, he still has a year in his contract, so like no team was going to give up that much for a holdout right before this season. They didn't want that. Teams don't want that to cloud over their week one.
Those flashing lights are bugging my eyes. But I gotta say, I love Randy Orton's entrance because it looked like he came out of the mouth of a viper. So we're looking at Randy Orton's tail of the tape. One of the greatest of all time, 10 times WWE champion, 4-time world heavyweight champion, and I couldn't read the rest because it disappeared.
Way to memorize it. It's also said 2-time Royal Rumble champion, 4-time tag team champion, 1-time Intercontinental champion, and 1-time United States champion. You're like, I hate you for remembering it.
Yeah.
But it did not include 1-time Money in the Bank winner.
I actually forgot that he won the Money in the Bank.
He had one of my favorite cash-ins. That cash-in really made the Yes movement a thing.
Yeah. I wonder how big that decibel level is going to be once Gunther makes his way to the ring.
Oh, I mean, you have to have Kaiser introduce him. Like that's the first thing.
Oh yeah. You got to give Kaiser or you got to give Gunther that WrestleMania kind of like entrance at the show.
WrestleMania, no. Memorable, yes.
Yeah.
One might ask how much Nutella Randy Orton had before this match.
I almost bought Nutella when I went grocery shopping yesterday.
As the World Heavyweight Champion makes his way out to the ring, and no introduction by his stablemate, his best friend in Ludwig Kaiser, but wearing a nice little burgundy maroon color, which is definitely different from his regular black that he normally wears.
So this is my first time in a long time hearing Gunther's theme. Is this how long have they had lyrics to his theme?
Oh, for a while now. Yeah, for
Okay.
a while. I believe he
Kind of like
even
it.
yeah, he's had this like easily since Mania for sure.
I kind of like that they added lyrics to it. It gives it a more dominant kind of sound.
I love how Michael Cole used specifics that Randy Orton said he's 285, and then Samantha for weighing in at 290.
Oh, we are getting Kaiser.
Ludwig Kaiser, there you are. We are underway with the main event at Bash in Berlin. Randy Orton versus Gunther for the World Heavyweight Championship. And I am by myself, as Chris Best has popped off. Can only assume that it's internet issue, but he will be back. I am certain of it. But let me know in the comments what you're thinking about Bash at Berlin so far. How excited are you for this main event match? We're getting a very slow start here. Nothing yet. We do have a loader.
Well, that was a nice surprise. I guess I totally froze up while Kaiser was introducing Gunther.
And the leg is back, everyone. It's been
a minute.
It's been a delayed minute.
Yeah.
One might say that leg is a little ahead because it's showing you no mercy.
Just reinforces the fact that I should clean my computer a little bit before the rest of the podcast we got to do this weekend.
Yeah. Streaming on Peacock for all the American audiences, but also on the WWE Network for Canadian audiences, but on YouTube for everyone else. The Bash in Berlin post show is following this main event immediately.
Right off the get-go, we get some of that fantastic chain wrestling between these two men.
Yeah, and this story all but began at the King and Queen of the Ring, as this was your final match to determine that King of the Ring. And a little bit of controversy surrounds that finish, as Gunther did defeat Randy Orton. However, Randy Orton's shoulder were not flat on the canvas. The referee did not see it. Therefore, his decision remained to be final. Triple H then spoke in that post-show, saying there will be another meeting between the two at some point. And after Gunther defeated Damian Priest to become World Heavyweight Champion at SummerSlam, Randy Orton decided to kick in that clause, per se, challenge Gunther for this World Heavyweight Championship match that we are now witnessing. Boom. History lesson.
Love it.
Now, I believe, if I'm not mistaken, the colors that Gunther's wearing are his, because he is Austrian, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, I think those are the colors of his flag, of the Austrian flag.
Yes.
Oh, we got the crowd doing the wave now.
Hell yeah. Hell yeah.
I gotta say, the crowd's been loud when they needed to be, but they are obviously they're being a little bit extra because of the fact that Gunther's in this match, and I like that.
Yep. Well, having some hometown, let's just say representation definitely helps.
Oh, yeah.
Now, you said earlier there was that feeling out process. Needless to say, that is definitely what we are seeing in this matchup. Very much a slower build, but this is two experienced performers in the ring.
Mm-hmm.
One in Randy Orton, who is a first ballot Hall of Famer. And he is definitely not known for speeding up at the get-go. And then you have Gunther, who is no stranger to slowing down the pace.
Yeah, I was going to say both these men do like working that slow and methodical pace, and that's actually going to be very interesting to see how that pans out as the rest of this match goes on. We talked earlier about that subtle selling. We just saw that from Randy Orton as he was grasping his chest from those chops that Gunther has already been delivering to him.
Well, and that might not even be selling. That could just be registering the pain that actually is there.
Yeah. And Randy's actually playing it smart right now. He's taking out the arm and the hand that Gunther usually likes to chop people with.
Yeah, and it's not just the chops that he's trying to minimize here. It's any power moves, too, because you try carrying someone of 285 pounds like Randy Orton with one arm. It's not going to be an easy task. So that's another thing. What he's trying to do is minimize the upper body strength and the power that Gunther has, because a lot of his moves that he's been using as of late, it's climbing to the top rope, which you would need both hands on, or else you're going to be going slow, which would allow a recovery time for that fallen opponent, or that power bomb, or even that Boston Crab, which requires two hands. So by taking away one of the arms of Gunther does restrict a lot of his maneuvers. That sleeper, you won't be able to lock it in. The same maneuver that won Gunther that World Heavyweight Championship.
Right.
Nailed it. Oh, Randy Orton going for that reverse neck breaker, does not get it.
No, but Gunther did attempt that sleeper that we talked about, and once again, Orton right back to work on that arm.
Yep. Now, someone we don't necessarily see a lot is somebody taking it to the ring, a General Gunther. We do not see Gunther on his back very often, and he has been on the receiving end of a lot of punishment courtesy of the Viper, Randy Orton.
Yeah, this is a bit of an unusual situation for Gunther right now. Now, earlier we talked about what's next for the Judgment Day after this. I have to wonder what's next for Randy Orton coming out of this match.
Well, if he doesn't win, he definitely goes back to SmackDown.
Mm-hmm.
If he does win, he becomes a permanent member of the Monday Night Raw roster.
Right.
And the one thing you could say is if he does win, I would expect a rematch with Gunther. That'd be the first thing I think you could go straight to. But if he's to fall short of this, I think it's, you go back to SmackDown with everything that circulates the bloodline, whether it's maybe a Logan Paul could very well be there. Maybe a Viper Maverick matchup could be there. Or you could see Randy Orton and Kevin Owens looking at each other, seeing how they both fail at a championship in that scenario. And to Bobby Stat's idea, maybe looking at those tag titles. Maybe he also sets his sight on maybe the U.S. championship. Randy Orton versus LA Knight.
Maybe he sets his sight on even Cody, because we've even talked about the idea of him turning on Cody at some point.
Well, a lot of people are assuming he's going to do that. We don't know.
There's a lot of interesting things that are coming out of this PLE so far, and I'm looking forward to the next few weeks to see how everything plays out.
Yep, that is 100% accurate. Because in just a few short weeks, well, really a month or so, but we do have Bad Blood coming October 5th, and then right after that we have Survivor Series. So there's no rest for the wicked. We are going straight into something right away. So
yeah.
Although you do get get about just under 7 weeks there, but or actually less than 6 weeks.
That's actually quite a long ways away between PLEs. I kind of like that.
Mm-hmm. Actually, I guess it's 5 weeks, really, when you think about it. Because it got the 30. Yeah, it's 5 weeks. 5 weeks of the day. As Randy Orton just successfully hit the champion with a superplex. Both men are feeling the effects as Randy Orton slowly gets an arm over for a cover, but a very simple roll from the champion negates the count. As we are now kind of getting into that part of the match where you really got to dig deep just to get that edge.
You got to dig deep and pull out that intestinal fortitude.
You can definitely think that Gunther is looking to reclaim some strength, some feeling in that arm that's been worked over by Randy Orton. And then you got Randy Orton looking fiercely to strike the most dominant letters, the RKO variation of that reverse neck breaker. And it's a thing. 900 followers now.
Geez, that fast, eh?
Right. Now I'm only 100 away from the thousands of people. Come on.
Get on that.
Come on. I think I'm only like 13 away from 1,000 on Twitter too, so come on. Is there a better thumb to the eyes than Randy Orton?
In this day and age, no.
I'd wonder if he was to hit that on Omos, like, would he be like 3/4 in the ring?
Oh, he'd have to be.
Be bumping on the bottle cap of the prime bottle. Because Gunther is no short man, but Omos is definitely another foot or so.
Imagine Orton hitting that on like Giant Gonzalez. He'd be halfway across the ring. Although I'm pretty sure Giant Gonzalez wouldn't be able to sell it correctly.
That would be the end of the match.
Yeah.
Well, looking for that reverse neck breaker. Does he hit it? And no, he does not. As we have Another German suplex. Why not?
Yeah.
When in Berlin. And even though he hails from Austria and he fights out of Germany, an English drop kick is what the ring general uses. Followed by that frog splash. And the Viper still has.
He's got that fire in him still.
He's still got that dog in him.
Almost made me spit my drink, dude.
Yep, that was the intention. What? It's for content.
Do it for the content, right?
I'm not an asshole. I'm a people's pleaser.
I'm actually thinking about changing my mind about what I want to do for dinner. I might actually order food today instead.
It'd be hilarious if you ordered chicken tendies. just. Oh, there we go. Gunther going for that power bomb. Has some issue with that hand. A nice little left hand clothesline there.
Gunther having a little trouble trying to get Randy Orton up for that power bomb, and of course, as you stated earlier, with that arm injury, it's going to be a little bit harder to lift Randy Orton up,
especially with that Nutella body. Randy Orton hooking the right leg of Gunther to prevent Gunther from getting him up, just to execute that much force, that much power, that much energy. But we get a power bomb. Is that enough?
Oh no. See how quick they cut away from that fan because he was flipping everybody off.
In the words of Cassius, oh no. But that's not flipping off. He's just saying this match is number one in his books. People just like to express themselves differently than the people in the United States and Canada.
That they do.
So, I mean,
oh, and Randy Orton connecting with that reverse neck breaker.
no, it's an RKO.
Oh. I thought it was a reverse cutter.
No. It's a modified version of the reverse neck breaker. You can try to get out of this rib. It ain't going anywhere.
You know, it's funny though. I bet if you played like a third-party wrestling game and you're trying to make Randy Orton, that's probably what they would call the RKO.
No, they would call it the Ace Crusher. That's what they had in the game before.
Oh, that's true too.
Or the Diamond Cutter. Or sorry, it's the Ace Crusher, not Cutter.
Oh, right. Because wasn't that like what Johnny Ace would use when he was wrestling? Yeah.
Because if I'm not mistaken, John Laurinaitis is the one who proposed the move to Randy Orton.
Yeah.
So Randy Orton is getting the German announce table all clear. And then putting some steps. It is. So Gunther's made his way out.
Oh. You have to think these men need to negate the count or else they will be counted out. I don't think Berlin would be ready for a double countout finish in their main event of the match. No, but Little H is giving them some time outside the ring, though.
Let's just say he went to his local medical facility and he found some patients.
He did.
Randy Orton is not moving very quickly, but Gunther has negated that count.
It's going to be interesting for whatever Randy Orton's trying to set up here.
You'd have to think if Randy Orton is 100% right now, given his slow nature right now, setting everything up. Wherewithal of breaking up the count.
All right, so we got ourselves a bit of a back suplex onto the table.
Yes, a reverse side suplex done by Randy Orton onto Gunther through the announce table off the steel steps. Little Nate is now looking at the champion, seeing if he's okay. Going back in to start up his count is Randy Orton. Appears to be in the driver's seat, but can he capitalize and become a 15-time World Heavyweight Champion inside the WWE?
So one thing I'm finding interesting about this crowd during this match is they seem to be behind both men. So it seems like they'd probably be happy with whoever wins.
Well, I think no matter what, they're not going to boo Gunther. They're not going to boo the hometown man. But at the same time, how can you boo Randy Orton?
This is true.
So, plus, I think they know, just like we know, we're in store for just a fantastic match. So Randy Orton has Gunther back in the ring. Randy Orton is back there looking. Is he eyeing him up for an RKO, or is he looking for the punt? Gunther does not want a reverse neckbreaker on him. So he reverses it and goes to the sleeper hold.
Same sleeper that ultimately ended Randy's chances at becoming the king of the ring.
Same sleeper that also won Gunther the same World's Heavyweight Championship that both men are fighting for. Gunther keeps on the hold with the roll with a side headlock, only to go back to a sleeper.
Oh. Now, I was wondering when Randy Orton's back problems would come into play here, and we saw that with the chop right there.
Well, we've been seeing him go to his lower back all match long.
Yeah.
Especially during the time where he was setting everything up on the outside. We definitely have been seeing Randy Orton favor that back in this match, but Randy Orton finally gets out of the sleeper as it's been locked on him for a few minutes, but Randy Orton goes right back into it. Gunther is reliant, just relentless on this sleeper hold.
Gunther doing everything and anything he can within his power to end Randy Orton. And Orton has faded. It's over.
Yep. There is no need to vang a viper. All you need to do is wear it down.
So do you think of that as a definitive finish for this feud, or can we see Orton and Gunther somewhere down the line? Not exactly right away, but maybe after the draft we see it again or something like that.
Definitive, yes. But does this close off the story that is these two? No. Because I'm sure Gunther, knowing that he got the win here, still feels that he must either make Randy Orton quit or pin him. He still has yet to do either one.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't think this is a closed chapter, but I do think that the asterisk of the King of the Ring has been erased with this match.
Right.
Because Randy Orton was unable to go forward, and that was because of Gunther. So, yeah, that is definitive to me.
Yeah, and like I said, at some point we will go back to these two. Just not right away. Like I said, it could very well be like after the draft, I would say.
I don't know. Randy Orton has signed a new 5-year deal, so it doesn't have to be anytime soon, nor does it have to be for a heavyweight championship. But Gunther pulls out all the stops, and despite an attempt by Randy Orton to take away that arm, it was not enough, as Gunther remains the ring general, but more importantly, the WWE World Heavyweight Champion.
Think we're going to get a handshake between these men?
I hope we get an RKO. Both men still remain in the ring. Randy Orton seems to be out. Yes, and there he is. We fade to the panel of Big E, Miz, Jackie Redmond, and the man whose head reminds me of a hairy boob, Pete Rosenberg.
It's interesting that both world title matches ended in a respect angle.
Well, to be fair, what the build of both matches weren't based out of hate, weren't based out of anything other than a respect and admiration, but also wanted a good, healthy competition to be better than your opponent. It had nothing to do with emotion. It had everything to do about respecting the confines of the sport.
Mm-hmm.
So now you can build in your other scenarios like you can with KO and Cody, but knowing that Randy Orton's going back to SmackDown and Gunther stays on Raw, there's no need to have an angle, as you're not coming back with this anytime soon.
But now it makes sense to me why they placed KO and Cody as the first match. And obviously this was going to be the main event at the same time. Because rule of thumb, again, when you're booking matches, you don't want to have two of the same style finishes, right? Back to back, I should say.
And I don't think you did, because you had a definitive one and you had something with a little bit more of an open-ended thing. Yeah, you're looking at, what the two men did with each other as a similar boat, but what we saw also was you didn't want to convolute the finale and have one championship match overshadow the other. you put your championship matches 1, 2, and 5,
Yeah.
but you had your singles championships so far spread apart that you were able to enjoy them both. You were able to spread your tag matches apart, and then you were able to have a match with emotion, with violence, with brutality as your icing on the cake right there in the middle. So you got a really good blend as we go to Kathy Kelly with Gunther in the ring. It's very nice of Gunther to say to help me hit 1,000 on both Instagram and Twitter. I thank you, Gunther, for saying that. I appreciate it.
Yeah.
In your German tone.
I also appreciate that he told everybody to like, follow, and subscribe to Turnbuckle Studios.
I mean, that's just what makes him the world heavyweight champion that he is selfless acts like that. So thank you, Gunther. As that is going to do it for Bash at in Berlin, let's just kind of have a little bit of a finale in the sense of what we thought about it. Beth, what was your takeaway from Bash at Berlin, and what was your favorite match of the night?
My favorite actually ended up being the mixed tag match. I really enjoyed everything about that match. I enjoyed the emotion. I don't know about that finish at the same time still, but I'm like you have been saying all night, to let it play out. I'm curious to see where we go next with all 7 of those people involved.
Yeah, and I thought it was a great show. Not a perfect show. I do think there was a couple of just not noticeable glares, but just little tweaks that I would have done differently for my personal liking. But I thought both championship matches were phenomenal. I thought easily inside the ring. They were the standard today. I thought the women's tag match really picked it up. And the strap match definitely delivered for me. I thought just the strap match's finish was a little too long. And then I thought, obviously, with the mixed tag match, I just wasn't a fan of 2 beating 5. But, I mean, I never really am. So,
yeah, I mean, that again, like I said, fine match for that mixed tag. Wasn't too fond of the finish because I don't quite understand it. But again, I'm going to let that play out and see where we're going with it,
Yeah, and that's why we tune back on the Monday Night Raw for the PLE, the post-PLE shows, as we have the Raw Patrol, the original Patrol show, the OG Patrol.
Yep.
If we're doing more Patrol shows, then it's going to be the OG. So, but yeah, that is on their Labor Day Monday. But we got more things coming up. But Chris Best, let the people know where they could find you.
Yeah, you guys can find me at youtube.com at CBRS Entertainment, twitch.tv CBRS _entertainment, threads.net at CBestFilms83, Facebook.com, Chris.best83, TikTok.com, CBRS.entertainment. You can look for me also later on today on the CBRS Entertainment platform and Turnbuckle Studios platform as we do Saturday Night Gaming. Episode 4 of The Last of Us.
That is correct. And then if for myself, you can find me on my link tree. That is linktr.ee/Chris Parrish. Go and check that out. You can help me fuel the train that is driving toward 1,000 for both Instagram and Twitter. I would appreciate that. But you can also go and check out the Chris Parrish Podcast live every Sunday at 12:15 p.m. Eastern Time, live on Facebook, YouTube, and Twitch. You can check me back out tomorrow for both at Chris Parrish Podcast, but also at 8 p.m. Eastern Time as a return with Chris Best and OMD, who will be joining us for the PLE Patrol. That is No Mercy. And obviously the Raw Patrol at 8 p.m. Eastern there as well. For Raw Patrols, I will be there in full as well.
Yeah, and on that note, I think I totally forgot to click over here. But on that note, I think it's time that we say goodbye and enjoy the rest of your day. We'll see you later on this evening again for the Saturday Night Gaming. Have a good afternoon, everyone.